So the next strategy that we're going to take a look at is the standard algorithm. This is what your parents are going to think about when you say you're solving a long division problem. And with the standard algorithm, what I like to do is put it inside of that division house. So I'm going to put 422, my dividend, with my divisor of 3 outside. So I have 422 tallies, and I'm dividing it equally among 3 people. And then the next thing I like to do is I like to write out my multiples of 3. So, and I go up to 9. So 3, 6, 9, 12, because 3 times 1 is 3, times 2 is 6, times 3 is 9, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7, times 8, and times 9. So now I have all my multiples of 3. The next thing that you do with the standard algorithm, it's the only math problem, the only operation where you do not start with the ones place. You actually start with your larger number. So I'm going to start with my hundreds place. And what I want to do is I want to see, is there anything times 3 that will equal 4? I also use this mnemonic phrase. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? The D means divide. The M means to multiply. The S means to subtract. Now, some people don't put cheese on their burgers, but I think it's really important because we have to check and make sure that we're doing everything all right by now. And the B in burger means to bring down. So the first part that we're doing is dividing. Is there any number times 3 that equals 4? And that's where I look in my multiples column. Is there a number that comes close to 4 without going over? Yes, that 3. That means now I'm multiplying. 3 times 1 equals 3. Now I'm going to subtract those two numbers. 4 take away 3 is 1. And this is where that check comes in that not a lot of teachers will tell you to do, but I think it's super important. When you subtract, this difference needs to be less than this. This is telling you how many tallies you have left. If I have 1 tally, I cannot split it into 3 more groups. If I had 4 tallies, that means I could have split this in another group and I didn't. So I didn't find my biggest multiple up here. If that number is bigger than 3 or 3 or more, then you have to go back and start all over again. We got a 1, so we're good to go. And we can move this over and we can bring down our next digit, which is the 2. So now we're going to start all over again with divide. I want to know, is there any number times 3 that will give me 12? So I look at my multiples list and I see I have a 12. Now I'm going to multiply because 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 gives me 12. 4 times 3 is 12. Then I'm going to subtract. 12 take away 12 is 0. I'm going to check, is this less than this? It is, so I'm good to go. And I'm going to bring down. The last number I have is a 2. Now I'm going to see, is there any number in this column that comes close to 2 without going over? Oh no, it won't go. In its place, put an O. That means that 3 times 0, multiply, equals 0. And if I subtract, I get 2. There's nothing left to bring down, so that becomes my remainder. And again, I can check by taking my quotient, which was 140, multiplying it by my divisor, and then adding in my remainder to give me 422 to tell me, yay, I did this correctly. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers?